Does a foam tire insert need to be fancy to be effective, or does the simple solution seal the deal? That's what we're going to go over today when we're talking about Mynesweeper Foam Tire Inserts. Today on We're 1 week into May. There's a snow advisory this weekend, and it's raining right now. Couldn't think of a better time to sit in the basement and decide to change my tires for the season. While I'm doing that, I'm going to install some foam tire inserts and try them out. The ones we're trying out today are Mynesweepers, spelt with a Y. There's their website right there, mynesweepers.com. Alright, before we really get a good look at the foam insert, we're going to have a little story about them. They are a creation by a man named Brian Parker. He had a bad string of luck, 2 weekends in a row, fragged some carbon fiber rims on his wheels that he was running. And for anybody that knows the price of carbon fiber wheels, that's pretty detrimental. Very expensive. At the same time, Brian was also upset with the cost, complexity, and questionable results that some of the other run flat systems and tire and rim protection systems were providing. And he decided, I can do this for cheaper and better than they can. With that idea, he moved forward with creating his own product, and that's how we come up with Mynesweepers Tire Insert. Now, it's a pretty small operation. Mynesweepers isn't owned by some big tire company, and this is one of their products. It is owned by Brian Parker. It is a one-man operation as far as I know right now. You can tell it's a one-man operation and it's a small because some of the directions are handwritten on the product. So the product itself is a closed cell polyethylene foam. And let's see if we can get a close-up there so you can see it. Pretty basic foam, and it is one piece slit in the middle. If you see there in the middle, that is a piece of lightweight surgical tubing that Brian tried a couple different designs out with a different foam, different tubing, till we settled on this design. He also has different foams for the different volume tires you have, not just the diameters, but if you're running like a 2.2 to 2.5 or a 2.5 to 2.7 or 2.8 plus size. You can see, might not come across in the video, but the foams are different densities and different volumes. Softer for the front, larger tires, harder for the rear. That's how we're going to run them. These are extremely light. How light, you say? Let's find out. Okay, I've got the trusty Berkeley fish scale set up. Let's see how much these weigh. Now, for reference, this is the 650B or 27.5 inch wheel size insert for the 2.5 to 2.7 tire. Weighs in at 100 grams. Let's see if we can get them both on there. The total weight for a complete set of tire inserts from Mynesweeper is 200 grams. In comparison, I have this tire insert, which is from a company that we're going to call Shmushmore. And this is the 27.5 inch extra light version that they offer. 260 grams for one insert. As you can see, the Mynesweepers are extremely light and there's not much weight to offset, but it can still be done. This is the front tire that came off my bike. This is a WTB Breakout 2.5, and it is the tough casing that they offer. Let's see how much this weighs by itself. We're sitting at 1,090 grams. That's for a used tire. Probably has some lost rubber on it. Might have been around 11 or 1200 when it was new. But still, right now, 1,090 grams. Here's the tire we're going to be replacing it with. I'm going to be using these front and rear. On the front, we're going to use the Terravel A-Line 27.5 by 2.5. And I'm going to go with the light and supple casing on this. Let's see how much this tire weighs. We're sitting at 780 grams. Let's put the inserts in there also. Okay, so with the Terravel A-line 27.5 by 2.5 light and supple casing and the Mynesweeper foam tire insert, I'm at a total weight of 870 grams. So with the new tires and a foam insert, I'm coming in lighter than my previous tire without a foam insert. Okay, I mounted one up on a rim just so we can see what it looks like as it sits. Important that you line up the valve stem with where it says valve stem. That's also where the insert is split at. And that is important because on the other side, there is a small cutout called the port. That is so whenever you first install the insert and install your tire, and you fill it with your tubeless fluid of choice, you will then turn the wheel to inflate it, and that way it lets the tubeless sealant come out of the insert and go into the air cavity of the tire itself. Now, the rim that I have this mounted on has an outer width of 40 millimeters. Fairly wide rim. You can see when we get up close, the foam insert still overhangs the side of a 40 millimeter wide rim. So, you have plenty of sidewall protection on the tire itself, on the rim, and Brian says these are even work as run flats. Even if you get a tear in the sidewall, you can still ride out of the woods because these act as run flats. So you have rim protection, tire protection, and ride protection. All right, Brian says to mount these up, you need a sturdy trash can so that you can set the wheel on. I don't have one of those. I have a shitty trash can. Let's get everything set up and let's see how long it takes to put these together. Let's go. Got the rim sitting on my shitty trash can. Let's see how long this takes me if I can get it together by hand. Go. 5 minutes, 28 seconds with no tools and a floor pump. The only thing that I didn't do was put in tubeless sealant. So that was a dry setup, by hand, inflated. Could be ridden right now. That's not too shabby, especially considering some other companies are now selling specialty spoons and tools to get their inserts in. We won't name names, shmushmore, but some other companies need special tools to get theirs done. 5 minutes, 22 seconds. I'm pretty happy with that. All right, so a nice, easy installation is good, but only if the product works as it should. So we're out here at the wall. We got a nice square edge. We're just gonna take the wheels and smack them off of it, see what happens. We'll start out at 30 PSI, which may be a pressure you're running, might be higher than some, but let's start here, see what happens. First up, we have the rear wheel, 2.4 wide, and this was the tough casing, no foam insert, 30 PSI. Okay, so that was 30 PSI. No real rim impact, as that's a fairly moderate to high pressure for the trail. Let's do the same pressure with the foam insert. Probably gonna have the same results. It's just gonna feel pretty nice. Like I expected, no rim impact. So let's drop the pressure. Let's go all the way down right to 20 PSI, probably on the other side of the pressure that you would run on the trail. Let's see what happens. All right, we're set up, 20 PSI. I can squeeze these in by hand, so I can already tell, probably gonna have a little bit of an impact. There's a very solid thud. I can feel the rim going all the way to the brick. The only thing stopping it from hitting is the rubber itself. Let's try out light casing with an insert, 20 psi. No impact, just kind of a deadened feeling because of the foam, like a sound dampening. Let's get the camera up close. Let's drop it down to 10 psi. Just give it some push and hit tests. You'll see how much this is deforming without an insert and with. Alright, we're moved up closer to the wall. Tires are at 10 psi. We're going to start out just pushing on them, and so you can see how without an insert it goes right down to the rim. You can see, you can hear the impact. I'm not even actually hitting these off the wall. I'm just kind of pushing them into it. Now let's do it with the insert. Now 10 psi, still almost fully compresses, but the rim never actually makes contact. There's no hit. That's the protection you're looking for. Save your sidewall, save your rim, keep on riding. Let's try one more. Alright, I got both wheels with no air pressure left in them. As you can see, super flat. Wouldn't even be able to make it out of the woods on this. You would further damage the tires and the rims if you tried to keep riding. They just cut them up. Now, with the inserts, can't get them to bottom out. Although, it'd be a little mushy. You can still ride out of the trail with this. And that's what we need to do next. I'm going to put the insert into the front, into the rear wheel. Get this tubeless sealant in there. Let's get these out on the trail. Let's see how they do. Hitting some rocks, square edges, regular riding, even completely flat. Let's find out what happens. For the sake of full disclosure, the rear tire took me a little longer than 5 minutes to install. I think it has to do with the fact that the tire is a 2.3 width and the rear smaller diameter foam insert is a harder foam. So it fought me a little bit getting the last bit of the bead seated. Overall, it took me about 18 minutes total of actual work time, so not terrible. Let's get out on the trail. One of the most bold claims that Brian made with these foam inserts are that they act like run flats and it'll help you get out of the trail if anything goes wrong. So I'm going to test that out first before I even do any regular trail riding. As you can see, taking all of the air out of the tire. We're going to hook a camera up so we can watch it. We're going to go for a little bit of a road ride and a trail ride. Let's see what happens. Okay, I'm rolling down the trail right now, as you can see. Not a hard section of trail, but we're going to go over some rocks just to show that if you do get a flat, cut your tire, rip the sidewall with these inserts, you still can ride out of the woods. And for anyone that's ridden on a completely flat tire, you know it's absolute shit. You're going to mess up your rim. You're probably not going to make it out of the woods without breaking stuff, without causing a much more expensive issue. So, on the capability of do these work as basic run flats, yeah, these will work. No, you're probably not going to get a KOM on Strava running these flat, but you're not going to have to completely walk out of the woods. We are back from the trail and road ride. You saw that these did work as run flats. So now, got the pressure set, 20 psi in the front, 25 in the rear, and let's go ride these on the trail. I know a lot of you are used to watching pro racers pick and choose lines, test out products, but what's harder on wheels than a hack on a hardtail? Let's go see how these do.
This should be fun on hardtail.
Okay, we're going to cut the riding portion of the video right there. You've seen him out on the trail now, just smacking him off with some rocks. There was 0 rim or tire damage. I'm actually going to go ride that bike a little bit today, right after I get done with this. There's no new marks in the rims. They work great. What doesn't come across on video is the ride quality. On a hardtail bike going over the rocks, it's just like applying a filter. It just takes off the square edge and takes off the high frequency hits and just smooths everything out. Feels really good, almost as if there was an extra inch or two of suspension on a bike that doesn't have any on the rear, if that makes sense. Alright, so we've seen them installed. We smacked them off some bricks. We've hit them off some rocks. We've weighed them and compared them. The one thing I didn't mention was the price. $49 and some change for a complete set. That is a front and a rear insert. So these inserts are less than half the weight of some of the competitors and about a third of the price. Well, you go ahead and take that information and you'll have to make up your own mind. But head on over to Mynesweepers.com. That is mine with a Y, Mynesweepers.com. Check out their website. See what they have to say, and check out some of their other products. We're going to get back to these inserts in the future. I'll give you a longer term review as they're going to stay on the bike for now. If you've made it this far, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe and stay up to date with all the future videos. And thanks again. We'll see you out there.